Wait. 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 Hang on, wait for it. I'm waiting for it to turn to 15.
I gotta sleep, but I wish you fun.
Thank you. It's 15. Thank you. 7:15 PM. Your favorite time of day. Or you could simply just not just give me the correct time again. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious about how accurate 17:15 PM is. Let's use another slider to find out. It's bang on. You know, I could just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. Wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather data on you. Should be too hard, let me whip a couple ones up. Should be ready next time you view up the game. Chat, here we go. You got new sliders, chat, hell yeah. Yeah, chat, last time we left off we were doing Stanley Parable 2.
Hi.
Hey sick man, welcome.
Discord server, URL YouTube channel, URL BlameDeadMG55. CIMZSW60BoP833Q Twitch channel, skipping the rest. How did I miss a whole stream?
Yeah, there was nothing to event for that Minecraft one. It was just me just fucking dying constantly and screaming at my computer or my TV.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427.
We don't want to see this again, do we?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Do you have to freaking start from the beginning every time?
Yes, it's fucking annoying.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Do I grab the bucket, chat? Chat, do I grab the bucket?
Yes.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
It's really inconvenient.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Do we go left or do we go right, chat? Do we go to the left or do we go to the right?
Ultra Deluxe right.
Yeah, it's the Ultra Deluxe. Do we go to the left or do we go to the right? Ultra Deluxe right. Okay, he said right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but
Left.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
He said Ultra Deluxe right. We went right.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket
I did say
turned out
right,
to be.
dang.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride
So
the lift
what do
all
you
the way to
remember
the
of
top.
what you need
There's
to
something
do?
up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Secret room. Danger, danger everywhere.
Huh.
Secret area.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much
Caution,
of
not a
the
step.
impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
He's gonna touch me!
The sass in this narrator is insane.
I know. What the fuck? It's just a strip club. I wanna go back. Nope, I can't. Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a
Chat,
bucket.
do I answer it all correctly
Okay,
or
let's
answer it
begin.
all incorrectly?
Item 1. Is this a
Do
bucket?
you want me to tell you the answers?
Chat, do we answer this all incorrectly or correctly? All incorrectly or all correctly?
Correct.
All correct.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket,
This
not
one
an
is no.
actual bucket.
Next one's no. Gotcha.
Item 3.
This one is a
this
bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
This one is not a bucket.
Nah, really? The fucking tractor.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look
This
like an
one
idiot.
is a bucket.
Okay, next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
This one is not a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How's it both?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Heh heh.
I mean, are we talking about what's on the track or what's in front of us?
Click no to make him mad.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
There it is.
Everything's a fucking bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused
Say
to
yes.
even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Am I a bucket? Are you a bucket?
Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
You are a bucket.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to
You're
erase
welcome,
all
heh heh.
buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
I was
Every
right.
single thing in the game was a bucket. My God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue.
We're moving on
But
sand.
it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Yes.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Right, chat. We're going to that secret spot. Let's see what we got.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Fuck
missed
you,
a
bucket.
memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Did stream crash?
Look,
No, it's
Stanley,
luck.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad
You
to
were
happen to
lacking
you?
for a grip.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
Fuck
let me
you.
prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red... You're getting close now, Stanley. You've... Marines very soon equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then.
5 out of
Different
6.
in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Chat, red or blue? I feel like I should go blue because blue's my favourite colour.
Your face cam was covering the count, lol.
Yeah, that's why I checked myself.
Red.
Right, where it is then.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy?
I didn't want to
all
listen
this
to him.
time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
What?
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh, my fucking eyes. No. Oh.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Brew.
Space?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful.
Are we in a
isn't
UFO?
it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel...
Check DC.
No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
No shot, he said, space, huh?
Fuck this space shit. Oh, fuck. Acid trip? Bro, imagine playing this shit in VR. You'd think you'd have you'd probably have something in your put in your fucking water. What is this? Someone fucking spiked your water. Oh, fuck. That's like a puckered anus.
Check Discord real quick.
Hang on, I'm in the middle of a fucking acid trip. Hang on. The fuck? Oh, now there's fucking green lights. Oh, I don't like this. I'm in acid trip, bro. This you, I bet it better be something. Are you on? What are you on? That looks like something like fucking Tinder. The fuck? Does anyone just have a stroke while typing? Enough of this acid trip. This is actually fucking hurting my eyes.
Oh no.
Caleb
Stay
from
away
the
from
Owl
those
House.
stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Do we?
Not the suicidal Stanley.
I can't take this game no more. What's my life become? I can't take this no more. It's all... Is my life not real? Do I serve no purpose?
Suicidal parable.
What is wrong with me? Answer me, I know you can hear me. What do you want from me? My life's a fucking lie. Wait, if I go through with this, there'll be no game, and I'll break the cycle, and it will be free. One small sacrifice for one massive gain. Fuck you all, see y'all in hell!
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried. No, 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 what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Buggers! Why am I doing this? You've got me trapped in this game, driving me fucking insane. I can't do this anymore. I can't. It's your fault we're both in this mess. And we're both gonna fucking pay for it. You're gonna go to sleep, even if you do go to sleep. You're gonna go to sleep knowing that this is what you've caused.
Oh no, Caleb's going insane.
When can I crouch? Hold up. Is life actually worth living? Because I've just figured out I could fucking crouch. That is a completely new. I also saw something down here. Nothing, okay. I have no choice but to jump, chat. I have no choice but to jump. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Yes, because you've
Am I
made me
reading
lose
the
my mind.
situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
I'm
I
getting
just
slower
wanted
and
us
slower.
to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
This narrator's actually fucking gotten to me. Do I say fuck you and jump, or do I go back? You know what? I'll go back. I'll go back.
Is it over?
Damn the
It's
narrator
time to
making me
restart,
cry.
isn't it? I'm going back.
My plan was to jump off and then walk back out, but I didn't realise it would kill me. What the gimmick was, I wasn't able to die. Fuck, I'm back at the beginning.
All of his co-workers
Stanley,
were gone.
you
What
forgot
did
your
it
water
mean?
bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Really bad thingy on my finger now. Really hurt.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna complete the game with the bucket and see what happens. I like what it said bottom text down there. No, but like the aura change of the screen as well, I like that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Chat, remember, this elevator is copyrighted. This elevator is now called the copyright elevator. Because it plays copyright music.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire,
remember which
if
one it
not
was.
for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Well, whoop-de-fucking-do! Well, whoop-de-fucking-do! Wait, Stanley Lorraine? Oh, that'll be a banger spot. This will be a banger spot to hide one. That's all I'm gonna say. The bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
But this time we're going to grab the bucket and turn on the machine. Grab the bucket, chat.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Chat, we're grabbing the
Stanley
bucket.
decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked
We
up
got the bucket
and smiled. He'd never be
I got
alone
the piss
again,
bucket.
not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket
Tired
tightly
are
to his
we?
chest
No, I'm
and
fine.
entered the door on his left.
Yeah, that's where your mother drinks from.
Fuck you. Employee 416.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
That's the room where I have a fucking acid trip.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I just couldn't be asked to hear you bitching, so yeah. Right, go on, let's go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Employee 427. That's what they mentioned. That's me.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influences?
Nah.
Do things it didn't wish to do. What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
Burb.
Of all the possible
Pink
paths
burb.
his life could have taken,
Burbs.
this one was surely
Rainbow
the
burb.
best.
Black
And
burb.
Stanley was
Black
happy.
burb. Orange burb. White burb. White burb. Brown burb. Burb! I want more burb. I want more burb, chat. I want more burb.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Four 1-6. Four 1-6, chat. 4-1-6.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Four 1-6. This is it. This is 4-1-6. But
H.
hey mate, welcome
Hi.
back to the streams. Thanks for tuning in. Right, we're gonna get the bucket.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to... This was not
I
the
uploaded
correct
the
way to
video.
meeting room, but
Nice,
Stanley
bro.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling
I'll
him
look at it
that
when
the
I
employee
do the
lounge
stream.
was simply
After
the
the
place
stream.
to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Chat. Chat.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him. The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen
This is
to me.
Stanley's home.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You
Shit
know,
looks
once
different.
upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does. You fucking
Yes,
gave
I
it to me. It's
suppose
your
on
fault.
closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
It's just a bucket.
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No,
He wants to
What's
fuck
going
the bucket.
on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less
The
confusing.
bucket wants to have
Yes.
sex with Stanley.
The bucket could tell me what to do in
The
this
bucket wants to
troublesome
fuck
situation.
Stanley.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
My eyes are closed. Go back to work, Stanley. Oh, I there was a candidate sexual moment with a bucket. Damn. Is that it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Is that
could it
it?
mean?
Oh, I wanted to see
Stanley
it.
decided to go to the meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
This is different. This is different.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. Truly, no, never mind.
There was
bucket
more
was gone.
dialogue.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. fact, the bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
That still counts the music, so I'm just gonna sit here. I don't care if it's fucking copyright, this shit's a banger. It's not gonna
Now
end it.
this is what the Stanley
I told
Parable
you.
is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore
It's
the
crashed
Bucket
out.
Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
You're fast, I was gonna go do it. Definitely. The Bucket Destroyer just slowly goes on screen with screaming music.
My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories
What,
about
destroy
you.
one
All of
bucket?
it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I kind of feel a bit bad now. It's going to restart the game, isn't it? However, yes it is. However, we're going to do it so we actually put the bucket in the bucket destroyer and see what happens.
All
Give
of
me
his
that fucking
co-workers
bucket,
were...
man.
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Yeah, everything looks alright. A
A
fucking
good
bucket.
bucket. A strong bucket. A humble bucket. A committed
Humble.
bucket.
Be
a
humble.
bucket of culture
Sit
and
down.
distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Ah, so I completely just fucked it. Can't go back. I thought there was something down there. Motherfucker. Right, let's delete the bucket. 427, yeah, this is Stanley's office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Now, I'm gonna kill this bucket. Go with me, bucket. It's your final journey. Is what I should have said at the start.
Oh,
Well, I said it
good,
then, so it
Stanley.
counts.
I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Bucket. We've had a lot of fun, but you've always caused lots of distress.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans
It won't
what
let
they
me.
want. Hurry and...
You can't feed it the bucket. Fuck.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you.
You can't destroy the. You can't destroy the bucket. 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 Why the fuck not?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's see what's down here this time. You can't destroy the
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time...
I'm not wasting my time either, I'll just restart it. Right, so we got all the bucket maintenance shaft endings. Better check how long my stream was going on for, and my phone died.
All of his co-workers
Right as I
were
picked it up.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Large room, lots of boxes.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
How's that?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult
Hi, I'm
times such as
Sully.
these.
Hello, Solly. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for
He
coming in.
reassurance and
Appreciate it.
comfort.
Person
And that's
Turkui
when Stanley
waving.
realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding
My
presence
bucket!
of his
My bucket!
Indeed. Now he noticed
Open that
what
bloody
he was
door
really
now
missing,
and give
which
me
was,
back
of
my
course,
goddamn
very
bucket.
odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony.
Can I sub because you are a small YouTube?
Of course, bro. I'd appreciate a subscriber any day of the week.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man
had no
no
bucket.
Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only
I'm
he'd
a small
taken his
YouTuber
bucket with
too.
him.
Oh yeah,
Perhaps he
small
didn't even
YouTubers got to
realize
stick
he'd
together.
forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Right,
But I only have 5 subs.
that's completely fine. Like, I remember a time I was at like 50 subs.
Emoji crying loudly.
Nah, we'll go eventually. I'm at like, I remember I was at like 10 subs. When I first started my channel, I was at 1 sub, which was kind of my parents, but, kind of my dad, but, yeah. Like, I remember when I was a small content creator, go back to like my first Minecraft Vent Monday, that was my first ever long form video. Like, that shit was different over there. That's like over a year ago. It took me like a year and a half to get to 500 subs. Just keep pushing, keep doing what you love, and you'll get there eventually. That's my word of advice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
That's
it
my
mean?
words of wisdom.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Where
Perhaps he
are-
had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I've been doing YouTube for 4 years.
Damn. Four years, we'll just keep going at it. You'll get there eventually, believe me. Do I take the bucket? To take the bucket or to not take the bucket? That is the question. Where's a large room with lots of boxes? That's what I need to look for next.
Thanks.
No worries, bro. No worries, no worries, no worries. Hang on, I just have some technical issues. Hang on, chat. I need to go grab something from the other room. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Fucking door. Open.
K. Bye. How old are you?
What? There is no big bag. Ah, gotcha.
Into 3.
Oogly boogly. Should you grab my charger? We're back. Bucket.
In 20 years old.
I just got to do something quickly for my mum's chat and bring this down for her. Back in 2. Sorry, lads. Fuck, this is heavy. Okay. Why is a Big Mac so bloody heavy? Wait. Got it. 10,000 IQ. Put it on my shoulder.
It's just me.
Right, now we're not going anywhere. We're here, and we're having our brain boozled on Stanley Parable. Let's go. Give me, I've got to regain my breath. I just ran up all my stairs. Two whole
It's
flights
just
of
me.
stairs. Two whole flights of stairs I had to run up and down twice. That's 4 times. Right, we're back, chat.
And you.
Yeah, it's just me and you. I'm going the wrong way, but I want to get the bucket.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
There's something
Had
else.
the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was
Enjoying.
wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I love this.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
I just thought I'd do that, get that little dialogue while I'm there. Because there's like tens of millions of endings to this game. So there's no way I'm going to be able to 100% it.
I'm enjoying.
Good, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're enjoying it, bro. Glad you're enjoying it. So we're going to the phone. I'm plugging it. New dialogue. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
his
it all
co-workers
makes sense
were
soon.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Very important, we need the
It takes
bucket.
a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley
My
clutched the
bracket's
bucket
really hurting,
tightly
chat.
to his chest. This was not
really
the correct
hurting.
way to the meeting room.
Not fun.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the
How will
phone,
you?
and it will take us...
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug?
How old am I? I am...
Is this the bucket's order?
16.
Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Well,
Buckets
16
can't
on the
talk. It was a
19th of April,
joke.
but
Don't you get the joke?
as well be
It's funny,
16.
Stanley. A talking bucket. Ugh. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you
too.
actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke?
You seen too?
Should I have paused for longer or spoken
And what did
quicker?
you say while I was gone? If you said, did you say anything while I was gone? For you, 24 years, thanks, Kay. But how old are you? I'm 23. 20 years old. It's just me. It's just me. Oh shit.
Comedic timing. How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name.
Rowan17, I
Next,
typed that for
provide
some
a brief
reason.
synopsis of the joke,
Oh, no, you're
including
good.
the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Danny with the funny! Is that just over? I'm Danny with the funny!
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys.
How long
Collecting
is this
hard
video?
data from your audience on how
I
rapt they
don't
were
know, I
throughout
might
the
end
joke
it
is
soon.
the only way to grow or
And
learn
do
as a
something else,
comedian.
if you want to tune in.
An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in
Simpsons?
laughter in no
Simpsons
time
looking
at
ass.
all. Just remember to let them stop
Can we
laughing
do
at some
collab?
point, you
Sure, why not? I don't
gut-busting little
mind.
scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatened our very existence and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives
This is all
to
about
this
comedic
noble
timing,
cause,
now it's all about
just as
fucking
our children
aliens
must
and
do
kicking
after
ass.
us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
I'm definitely gonna read
Hey,
it or read this
goodness,
view.
this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no
I'll do it
matter.
now.
I think
Not
the
now.
fundamentals
Oh wait,
of...
hang on. Hang on, wait. You're talking about that collab, aren't we? Yeah. I guess I could. Do you play Fortnite? If you do Fortnite, we can play Fortnite together. That could be. That could be our little collab. Or. What games you play? Because I tend to be a gaming kind of person. So, if you have any games that you have that I have as well, we could add each other up on that and play Fortnite or something. And that's kind of that's my main goal. Because if you have Fortnite, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. Or we could do.
No, I play Minecraft though.
Oh, Minecraft. Oh, I have Minecraft. Oh, hell yeah. What console are you on? Because that all depends. And what type you play and also what type, Bedrock or Java. That all depends. Because if you're on
Switch.
that might be a problem then. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. I'm on PS4. Yeah. But my like
My
I said,
Xbox broke.
damn. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. My TV broke. I had to get a new TV, and this one's still buggy as hell. Like every time I knock my desk, the display goes off for like a brief minute, and then reconnects. I'm not sure if it's the TV or the connection or what. And I dare say I've been procrastinating saying something to my dad who bought me the TV, so I don't think it's too late to return it now. So yeah, my only suggestion would be trying to get Fortnite on your
HDMI
Switch.
port.
That's probably why. HDMI. Hang on. You might be onto something here. Where the fuck's the HDMI? Hang on. You might be onto something here. HDMI. Okay, right. HDMI, yes. Is there a second HDMI port? Is it bent? Hang on, chat. Hang on. Have we fixed it? I think we fixed it. I think we're good, chat. Hell yeah, I just knocked my desk just to check it. We're chilling. Yeah. Alright, we're good. Thank you, I appreciate
Relevant
that.
today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward
Maybe.
is for us to return to the two-door and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Yeah, my best bet for doing this collab, if you get Fortnite, we can play on there. Because I know no games, the Switch and PlayStation isn't
I can feel
cross-platform.
it.
So
This time,
Fortnite's the
I'm
only
really going to
cross-platform game.
nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it
British!
out on the fly. No need to overthink.
He's spoken
things.
British! The bucket spoke. He's speaking British. Hell yeah.
The AI thing says what I say 10 secs after I type.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a stream delay, so it's a bit awkward. Sorry about that, I can't really fix it. I'll try, I keep trying, but it's... Go round.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No, fuck you. Ooh.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
This is my left. Fuck you.
We're back at the phone already? No, no, no.
He's just restarting.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Oh, fine, I'll go
No,
left
no,
and
no,
make
no,
happy.
no. You were supposed to go through the door on the
Don't
right,
say that.
leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this was all
said-
covered very
but-
clearly. There's no way I can make the
but-
comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed
done.
in the community of other joke
You're
writers.
done.
I'm going to be shamed at every
Screw
one of
you
our
now,
meetings from
no,
now on.
no.
All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Bro! I went.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you. It's as though all of your other most prized
HFBH.
pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame.
Hi.
Pale with shame.
Hello.
Pale.
Yeah. It said,
Word to describe a bucket.
don't go to the... Well, it says, when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
I installed the right for the memes, it takes the phone, and it just kicks us back to the start again, where it says, when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What endings did you get
So
already?
I entered the door on the left, and he says, no, you meant to enter the door on the right, despite me saying it.
Let's see.
What endings have I got already? I've got the one where he's dead, I've got the one where the buckets, I've got the bucket endings, and I've got the beat the game ending, just regular, just you see the big wide world. Beat the game, like do exactly as the narrator tells you to. I can't remember every single ending I've got off by heart, so you have to check the previous streams for that.
Oh
But-
hell yay.
But yeah, I've got quite a few.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Perhaps he
decided to go to
at
the meeting room.
Perhaps
he
he
had
simply missed a
memo.
memo. Piss bucket.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
And Stanley knew it perfectly
Stanley
well.
had felt the
Oh,
bucket
no, it's
calling to
different.
him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight
Welcome,
ahead
Juice,
to the
welcome to
opposite
stream.
door.
There's never something down there. It's really annoyed me. But chat. What is a large room, lots of boxes? Where's that? I've been searching for that for the past hour. Where the fluff is that? I need to know.
You are the best.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Where's the box lot? Hang on, chat. I gotta have a pondering moment. Music's very fitting. Large room. Lots of boxes. No, it's not the car garage where we get the Stanley's dead ending. I've already found one there, under the stairs. Stairs, under the stairs, it's that one. A large room, lots of boxes. Got the one inside the bathroom. Got the one in the fireplace, red and blue, got that one. Large room, lots of boxes. A large room, lots of boxes. Large room, lots of boxes. This is actually going to drive me insane. room, lots of boxes. Large room, lots of boxes. Large room, lots of boxes. What else gives us stuff? Bro, they done my man Stanley dirty with that picture, bro. Jesus. Large room, lots of boxes. Don't know. But chat, we got the broom closet.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here
Want
for
to text
hours.
me?
But alas, no stickers.
If you have Discord, yes. You have Discord on your phone or something? I don't really want to give out my number to phone number to strangers because that's personal to me. If you have Discord, you don't mind giving you my Discord number, like Discord info, that's fine. Because that is for my social media public YouTube channel use. Got a link to my server in the pin comment, but I'm not giving people my phone number. If that's what you're referring to, that's not happening. If you have Snapchat, I guess I can... Snapchat, I guess. That's also public domain for my YouTube channel. I use that for my YouTube channel as well. Not really, but...
Oh, never mind, I don't have CO it.
You don't have Discord? You don't have Snapchat or Discord?
No.
Oh damn, that sucks. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna give people my phone number. I hope you can understand that. It's just not. That's a bit too personal, you know.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Very, very dirty mirror. Doors
Okay,
monthly.
yeah, I understand.
Thank you. I'm glad you understand. I wasn't trying to be like rude or anything. I generally just don't.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Want my Gmail?
I don't really have... I don't think email is probably not the best way to communicate, not gonna lie. What else?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah, I'm
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Screw you
Okay.
guys, I'm going home. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry to be a bit awkward, but I generally don't know anything else. I don't want to give my phone number to people and just don't know about Gmail. That's a bit... I don't know how it really works.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye, narrator. Screw you. Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Got a massive big text about a bucket. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the free piece of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and sustained. The knowledge of the bucket and its history, only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and return to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? And a massive, really stretched out
I hate that
mug of a bucket.
narrator.
Yeah, the narrator can get a bit annoying
Can you see
sometimes.
how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris
bucket.
that blinded him? Can you see that the
25
bucket
buckets.
is far more noble than Stanley will
That's not
ever
25
be in
buckets.
his short life?
Right, they're doing... Oh, fuck. I was having my mouth there, that was really weird. They're doing like they're doing maths and science on a bucket. They're doing like some conference and trigonometry on a bucket. Inferno bucket. This replica of the Inferno bucket within medieval era was so powerful that it drove dozens of nations to war with the one another control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, so fascinating, no one can control a bucket. This bucket literally murdered like 1 million people. Good to know. The stress bucket, an analogy. Stress bucket prison without commentary. Or any of this. Also, it just goes in there and it all just gets funneled out. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh god, from the Stone Age they've been loving buckets. Cave drawing. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind.
I see. I wish you could hear my voice.
Okay. I want to get to know you more, I guess, because with this collab and stuff, we can get that done as well. And I always like to chat to my fans. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. The cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which the time the bucket had already been likely around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. That's not technically humanity, they're deer, but
No
Lovely
man
music,
can
though.
own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Blue room, blue room. The hanging bucket. This place symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However, to clear our grasp of the bucket there may be, there is yet more than is always out of reach. Its distance learns to be for our own good. Oh, this is what we saw at the start. Wait, do we just jump into the hole? Oh. We grabbed the bucket!
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh, we're dead now. Okay.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
No,
Don't
I'd rather
reset
not.
the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world,
Can you?
a new vision.
Screw you! Right, I think that's it. I think that's that ending done as well. We've just smashed out another ending. God, this game really is infinite. This game's perfect for my autistic mind. We've got, because I just keep thinking of just endings and endings and endings and endings galore. I think just pulling up the chat again now. Some technical difficulties. You know?
All
it
of
is.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley
Stanley
decided
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
You
simply missed a memo.
Right, where can we go now? What other endings can we do?
Okay, my name is Salaitoka.
Where do we go? I don't know what to do now. I can't remember. Chat, I need a minute to think of an ending that we could do. So, with the bucket, and then if we go for there. And then, no, got that one. We went down to the death bit with the bucket and had a crash out and died, and then there's that woman with the bucket as well. And then we have the bit where the bucket beats the game. Done that. The bucket has an intervention and puts it in the bucket destroyer. Done that. It's done where it ignores everything the narrator tells us to do. We get taken to the phone and the bucket controls our lives. Got that ending. We've done it where we take the bucket to the boss's office and then do the escape route. We've just done that. And then my mate just kept saying, look at the videos Cora Washington on YouTube. Search it up. Right back. Sorry about that, we're back. Got you just send a message to someone. How we did the collab? I don't know, because if Fortnite's off the table, then I don't know, because you're on Switch. So if you can get Fortnite, then yeah, sure. But I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Large room, lots of boxes. Fuck, we're back here again. Also checked your channel, Tucker. Got some good content on there. I'm your 60th sub, so you're welcome. And yeah.
Thanks.
No worries, bro. Appreciate it. Nice. It's all it's literally just gone 9 o'clock at night. I am not thinking straight now. It's no problem, bro. Always good to help out small creators. We got to stick out for each other. Large room, lots of boxes. You know what, chat? I'm gonna sleep on that. I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'm gonna sleep on that. Because I genuinely have no clue. I could try.
Bye.
Think, but I genuinely don't know. I could try and think. I don't know. Gotta think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep on that, chat. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna sleep on that. Alright. Thanks for coming in, lads and ladies. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out. Hell yeah. Alright, chat. With that, I will see y'all soon. Thanks for coming in, lads and ladies. Love you all. Peace. See you guys all soon.